Welcome to another RMS support tutorial. This video will discuss QC requirements and how to add them in RMS. Now let's get started. QC requirements is the collective term given to contract requirements for QC tests, user schools, installed property, and transfer property. The requirements are usually found in the specifications and will require careful examination of the specifications to identify the complete list of all QC requirements. QC tests are prefixed with CT followed by unique sequential numbers. The need for specific QC tests is identified in the specifications. Testing requirements can usually be found in Part 3, Execution of a Specification. Although you will develop the list of QC tests for the contract, your government representative will have final say in the complete list of QC tests that will be required. User schools are prefixed as US followed by unique sequential numbers. User schools are the training or instructions you must provide to the customer on equipment or systems provided and installed as part of the contract. As each session of the training or instruction is completed, reported on the QC daily report. A USACE representative should ensure that it was accomplished appropriately, and if not, have it repeated to comply with the non-contract documents. Installed property is prefixed by IP and followed by unique sequential numbers. Installed property is equipment that is permanently installed and attached to a facility. These are typically equipment types that have serial numbers, require maintenance, and are discrete entities. As installed property arrives at the job site, compared to the approved shop drawings for conformance to the contract and recorded to the manufacturer, serial number, and other maintenance-related information. Lastly, transfer property is prefixed TP, followed by unique sequential numbers. Transfer property is property that changes hands during the construction process. Examples include government-furnished property that is installed or used during performance of the contract. It also includes spare parts and supplies that are furnished by the contractor and turned over to the government as part of the contract requirements. It could also include equipment or materials that were deleted by the contract modification and the government decided to retain possession rather than take a monetary credit. To add these tests into a contract, from the Contract menu, navigate to the QC tab, then click on QC Requirements module. QC requirements can be filtered at the top by the blue tiles according to their type. Each QC requirement will display different column information based on the filter type. This information can be especially useful for contractors that need to complete QC tests awaiting results displayed in the results column of the QC test module. Adding QC requirements is the responsibility of a contractor. For this demonstration, we are only going to add a user school since adding QC requirements have the same process no matter the type. Click on the Add button. Here a drop-down list will populate with all of the options. Select User School. We can now enter all the necessary information about this QC requirement. The minor differences between each QC requirement are found in the Transfer Property and Installed Property menus. The Transfer Property fields have transfer property from, to, and types as well as unit type, cost, total units, transfer units, and remaining units. The Installed Property fields have unit type, cost, and a description box for the unit of measurement. Otherwise, filling out each QC requirement is completed in the same manner. Click the Not Set blue tile to set the section in which this requirement will be a part of. Be sure to choose the appropriate section as each contract is different. Enter any specific paragraph information. Click the Select Location from Lookup to display a list of locations. Choose one and click OK. You may also manually enter this information if desired. Enter the name of the person who will perform this requirement in the Performed By section. Click on the blue tile next to Required for Activity to select a list of pay activities this requirement associates with. This will allow the pay activity's due date to be associated and linked to this QC requirement. Then click OK. Now you may enter the description of this requirement in the box below. We do not need to add any documents at this time. Now we can click the back button to save this entry. As you can see, the blue tiles reflect accordingly. There are now 1 user schools according to the blue tiles. We can also see the updated information about the QC requirement in the description box below. You may notice that the QC date has been left blank. This will only change once the contractor has completed this requirement in the QC daily report under QC requirements. This information will also be verified in the QA report in government mode. For more information on QA or QC daily reports, please see the link in the description of this video. To set the QC date, click the back button and select the QC daily reports module. Enter the most recent report or create a new report to complete the next steps. Now enter the QC requirements section. For this demonstration, the user school QC requirement has been completed for this specific report. Click the checkbox, then click the back button to save. Now complete the QC daily report as normal. For a more in-depth tutorial on how to complete a QC daily report, please see the link in the description of this video. Now we can navigate back to the QC requirements module. Click the back button twice, then click the QC requirements module. And as we can see, the QC date reflects the date the report was completed in the QC daily report. For QC tests, the status of the report must be entered in the QC daily reports. By clicking the QC test filter, we can see the results for all the QC tests. For QC test 5, the results column reflects awaiting results. In order for this to change to the proper status, we must do this in the QC daily report. To do this, click the contract menu button at the top. Select daily reports and choose or create a report. Navigate to the QC requirements tab, then select the QC test filter. Much like the QC requirements screen previously shown, the status shows completed, awaiting results. By clicking the status column, a drop-down arrow will appear with the options to choose from: not completed, completed awaited results, completed awaiting verification, completed failed, or completed passed. It is the responsibility of the contractor to make sure that the status of this QC test reflects that of the QA report from the government. For this demonstration, we will select completed passed. Now we may head back to the QC requirements module to verify the results. Click the back button to save the changes and complete the QC daily report as normal. Then click the contract menu button at the top. Select QC requirements, then navigate back to the QC test filter. We may now see the results for test 5 have been saved accordingly. To add the appropriate documentation to the test, please see the link in the description box of this video. You may also view each QC requirement in the QC summary for reference. To do this, simply click the contract menu button at the top, then click the QC summary module. You can view all of the QC requirements and filter them based on their status, whether completed or not completed. In summary, we discussed the QC requirements and demonstrated how to add them in RMS. As a reminder, QC requirements is the collective term given to contract requirements for QC tests, user schools, installed property, and transfer property. QC tests are prefixed with CT, user schools are prefixed with US, installed property is prefixed with IP, and lastly, transfer property is prefixed with TP. If you experience any technical difficulties while attempting to add QC requirements in RMS, please contact the RMS Support Help Desk by submitting a support ticket or by calling the Help Desk phone. Links to our contact information will be provided in the description of this video. We hope you found this video informative, and thank you for watching.